So this question is 4x squared minus y squared plus 16x plus 6y plus 3 equals 0. We want to analyze this, find all the relevant information, and eventually graph it. So let's put the x's together. 4x squared plus 16x. Let's put the y's together. Minus y squared plus 6y. Let's move the 3 to the other side. Equals -3. I'm going to factor a 4 out of the x squared, so I have 4 times x squared plus 4x. I'm going to factor a -1 out of this. So that's -1 times y squared minus 6y, right? Notice -1 times y squared is -y squared. -1 times -6y is positive 6y equals -3. And then my goal is going to be to complete the square on those things inside. So 4 times x squared plus 4x plus something. We're going to add some number in there to complete the square. Minus 1 times y squared minus 6y plus something. Is going to equal -3 plus something. And we've got to figure out what those somethings are. Well, how do we do that? Let's remind ourselves of the process of completing the square. So I have x squared plus 4x here. So let's draw a square for us to complete. Here's x squared, 4x split in 2, plus 2x plus 2x. X times x is x squared, plus 2 times x is plus 2x, plus 2 times x is plus 2x. Plus 2 times plus 2 is plus 4. That's what completes the square. Now what do I have here? I have x plus 2 times x plus 2. So what is that? That's x plus 2 squared. So what I have here is I have 4 times x plus 2 squared. Now, what have I really added to the left side? What really got added? What really got added is 4 times 4. You see that? 4 times 4 is 16. So that's how the left side has changed. So I'm going to add 16 to the right side to keep it balanced. Next up, I have y squared minus 6y plus something. So I'm going to complete the square there. And what am I going to get? Y squared here, -6y split in half, -3y and -3y. We get y times y is y squared, -3 times y is -3y, -3 times y is -3y. -3 times -3 is +9. I'm going to add +9 to the left side. But what have I really added? I've really added -1 times 9, so it'll become -9. And then what is this? This is y minus 3 times y minus 3. That's the square I completed, which is y minus 3 squared. So I get -1 times y minus 3 squared equals, what do I have here? I have -3 plus 16 minus 9. 13 minus 9 is 4. Okay. So that's our current equation. Let's take a look at that. What do we have? We have 4 times x plus 2 squared minus 1 times y minus 3 squared equals 4. This is not in the form we need it yet, but it can get there. I'm going to divide everything by 4. Divide this by 4, divide this by 4, divide this by 4. That will give me the equals 1 on the right side. So now I have x plus 2 squared over 4 minus 1 times, not over 4, over 1, of course. 4 over 4 is 1. Minus 1 times y minus 3 squared over 4 equals 4 over 4, which is 1. Rewriting, x plus 2 squared over 1 squared minus y minus 3 squared over 2 squared equals 1. So from this, we're able to answer some questions. For example, what is the center? X minus h, x minus negative 2, y minus k, y minus 3. Center is negative 2, 3. What is my transverse axis? Well, first I want to see, is it horizontal or is it vertical? X comes first. If x comes first, it's horizontal. So what is the equation of that transverse axis? Let's go ahead and look at Desmos. So the center that I have here is negative 2, 3. And we said that the transverse axis is horizontal, so that would be the equation y equals 3. Y equals 3 would be our transverse axis. Now, to find our vertices, our vertexes, what are we going to do? From the center, what is our span in x? 1 squared underneath the x part, 2 squared underneath the y part. So span in x is 1. So let's go back to our graph and look at that. So the vertex, 1 on either side. So negative 3, 3, negative 1, 3. Is our span in x. Those are both vertices. And the center, of course, is negative 2, 3. Now my span in y, what is my span in y? It's a 2 squared there, so our span in y is 2. If our span in y equals 2, that should be enough to find my asymptotes. So again, let's go back to the graph. Span in y is 2, so up 2, down 2. So y equals 5, y equals 1. It'll be the upper and lower part of the box, which is going to range from vertex to vertex, negative 3 to negative 1. So that'll be the upper part of the box and the lower part of the box. And then we need this part. So that'll be x equals negative 1 and x equals negative 3. And that's ranging as y goes from 1 to 5. So we've made the little box that helps us to find the asymptotes. So looking at this, what is our slope? Rise 2, run 1. Slope is 2. And the center, again, is negative 2, 3. That's a point on the line. Down 2 over 1, slope is negative 2. And a point is negative 2, 3. So in terms of point slope kind of thing, for the asymptotes, point is the center, negative 2, 3. Slope is 2 in our first case. So using point slope, y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. Y minus 3 is m is 2 times x minus negative 2. And the other one, of course, is if m is negative 2, as we can see from our graph. Right, down 2 over 1, negative 2, 3. So we have the point again is -2, 3. And the slope is -2, again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we get y minus 3 equals m, -2x minus -2x plus 2. So those should be the two equations of my asymptotes. Again, you could certainly simplify them. Let's go ahead and put those in there. Y minus 3 equals 2 times x plus 2. That looks pretty good. And y minus 3 is -2 times x plus 2. And we'll make both of those look like asymptotes. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and graph our equation. Reminding you of what the equation was. Let's simplify it a little bit. The equation is x plus 2 squared over 1 squared, or x plus 2 squared, minus y minus 3 over 2 squared, or y minus 3 squared over 4 equals 1. That should be the equation of our hyperbola that we built for this problem. Let's see what it looks like. X plus 2 squared minus y minus 3 squared over 4 equals 1. And that looks pretty good. You can see it goes through the vertices, and as we zoom it out, we hope that our asymptotes become better approximations for the graph. And that looks pretty good.